Okay. Good evening to everyone. Last week we had a session over a particular topic, mindfulness, in which we have covered a lot of units about what is the mindfulness and how we can attain that particular state of mind. We have also come across with different units of the state of minds and the postures and the performance of the particular art, where you can have that particular position and postures in order to build that ability, how you can have that particular state. Now, moving further and taking that particular topic further with having that particular session into the second class with different its units and different agenda points, we are presented over here just to have that particular session over the mindfulness in this beautiful evening. So welcome one and all, and now Sam will take it further with those things where your involvement will also be playing a key and a pivotal role, and you have to just read out the sessions where excerpts will be shown over here in a form of slide, and you have to tell what actually you understand, how what is the usefulness and the significance of those things in your life. So now over to you, Sam. Sam, are you there? Okay,
I think
he's not here. Okay, Sama, you just move the slide ahead. The topic is mindfulness for the well-being and peak performance. So somebody from here just may read out and tell us what exactly the next slide teaches us and tells us. Any one of you? Okay, I'm going to start. Default mode and reduced performance. So what is the default mode? That is a state of your mind that is in default until and unless we have been practicing it as our baby steps or the small steps to gain that particular mindfulness. Here, mindfulness is synonymous and connotates a particular state of a mind where you are deliberately into practicing something that brings a kind of a mental well-being. So the standard setting while we are engaged in a specific task, such as paying attention, our network appears to show lower levels of activity, but higher levels of activity when we are awake and not engaged in any specific mental exercise. So what these words are conveying over here, it's that's the standard setting while we are engaged in a specific task. So whenever we have that particular intention to specifically build up our mind and the state of our mind on a particular work, or having that notion into your own sense where you are performing or having that endeavor to perform a particular task, what actually the setting of your mind is, such as paying attention. First of all, we see what we have to perform. So it's somewhat that needs your attention, because until and unless you will not going to put your attention over it, you may not endeavor and perform that task. The first activity is you need to put your attention over that particular action. Our network appears to show lower levels of activity in initial step. Whenever we put our intention, immediately your mind will not going to at a juncture will start working with a hard speed or with great velocity. So initially means whenever you start something, it will going to pump up little bit after coming to a full performance. So something, it will initially start with a lower pace, and then it will come up to attain that particular position and the speed. But higher levels of activity when we are awake and not engaged in any specific mental exercise. So when you will be awake means whenever actually in initial point you will be at the lower level, but gradually you will going to perform that particular activity, keep on doing that, then your mental sense will be awakened, and in that particular sense you will going to perform your activity with keep going with a high frequency. And then there is a particular condition that you need not have to give attention to the other things when you are performing a specific task. There is by they are saying that only if you are performing a particular task, your attention is required. And when you are giving that particular attention to a particular task, then there should be no digressions and diversions while you are performing your activity, so that it may comprehend you the actual sense of labor and also with the positive results. So any questions, anything, if anybody wants to explain it more? Okay, Osama, next slide. Okay, so any of you can just read it out and explain us if you want to.
फिर उल्टा रास्ता पकड़े है वह घर हुआ बे अपन सब घर हुआ बगना मेरा तन कहाँ चला जाता है.
Okay, so the second slide will going to tell you, give a glimpse of your particular how your mind works, how your thoughts will be aligned and organized while you are attaining that particular state of a mind. So here is the default mode of network. Network is all about synonymous and giving a meaning that how actually your thought process works out and what is the complete roadmap how your thoughts work to gain that particular mindfulness. So here it is given there. Process of autobiographical information activates in the absence of a pressing task, supports mind's wandering or remuneration, and communicate with language and speech areas, may give to the internal monologue. So last word is that monologue. So monologue is something, it is one of the techniques, literary technique where one can talk to themselves. Okay, it's a one-way conversation where they actually are talking to themselves. The first one is that process autobiographical information. Autobiographical information means whatever the information and the awareness that you do possess. Whenever you want to motivate, whenever you want to have that mindfulness, you have to have your own knowledge and the awareness. Until and unless you don't have that particular knowledge and the awareness, you cannot attain that particular position of the mindfulness and you cannot concentrate on a particular thing. So before getting that particular position or the posture of mind where your thought process will going to work out, you need some kind of a prior information that is autobiographical, means you have your own information because you only knows what work you have to take at your hands. The second thing is that activates in the absence of a pressing task. Whenever you are being burdened with so many tasks, your mind will work actually, but in that particular position it will be a kind of a freakness and a dwindling position. You will be turning and getting it down one by one. You cannot take up the task efficiently very much simultaneously so many tasks at a time. So it's better to perform one task at a time so that you can give your 100%. Supports mind wandering or remuneration. Wandering means, again, if you have that digression while you are performing any of the concentration activities and setting up your mind, it will may wander, because when you are bewildered with so many perplexities around you, the atmosphere is not calm, your mind is not calm, the thought process will always going to be bewildered. It will gives you a kind of a glimpse where there will be so many diversions and your task will not going to accomplish and you will not to set your mind fully concentrated. Where do you want to do that? The last one is that communicates with the language and the speech areas and may give the rise to the internal monologue. And whenever you start practicing these things, as and when you come along with the little baby steps to practice the mindfulness, you can actually have that your own sense. You start talking towards your own conscience, where your own soul will going to comprehend and just guide you as a torch bearer. It guides you like what is good for you, what is bad for you, and actually what is the state of mind in which you can easily attain that concentration, and then you can have that ability to concentrate over a particular task and achieve the results. Yeah, so my next slide. Okay, multitasking reduce productivity because brain works in serial format. So any of you can just define that particular how it works actually and what this particular diagram is conveying to them. It's a pictorial representation. So any one of you, if you can guess, if you can, we are performing this particular activity for your involvement. If I am saying, it is my opinion after saying this. So we want that you should come up with your own ideas by seeing this particular slide and give us what actually it is representing and symbolizing to you. So I just want to hear from you guys. Anyone? Sam, Abhishek, Priya, Hazel, Samuel, Gaurav, Avinash, Pushpa, Saloni.
Okay, may I?
Yeah, sure, Sam.
Okay, what is in your brain? First of all, if I talk about this kind of picture, this kind of brain which we have right now, I think everyone has this kind of brain because right now we have a lot of things to do. And if I talk about first slide of the left hand side, so touch, taste, vision, hearing, and last one, smell. So these kind of organs in our brain, and we can find our thing. We can like assume we can touch our things like that, but apart from that, like second on the slide we have what is in our brain. We are not able to concentrate in a one time only particular things when we do something. Okay, so how can we do this, how can we do this kind of thing, means how can we reduce this kind of thing? So we can go with mindfulness session, means mindfulness like meditations and other things. Also we can go with exercise. We can go with calmness, means sit calm for any place, then you will able to find your mind. Okay, so these things also available in our mind, means like video game. This thing is very common. I think many of people are aware of it. When we do something, so we always distract our mind. So how can we control our mind? That is all about this picture. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, well, thank you, Sam. So this particular slide is portraying us the multitasking. What actually the multitasking is? First, we should understand this particular term. Multitasking means in a multiple times you are performing some task. You are not taking up a particular task one at a time, but you are multiplying. So multiplying will gives already a kind of a digressions because your uh, concentration, then your attention will be divided, and how many things, whatever the things are going into your mind, the attention will be divided. The ratio and the proportion will also be different. Why is it so? Because something is much more in ratio and proportion and something could be less in that. So whom you are paying the attention at what amount, it also resembles over here. And this particular pictorial diagram or the slide is showing to you the state of a mind. The first slide that is on the left hand side is just showing to you what are the sensory modes of a particular human being. So these are the five senses which actually work out when you are not even intentionally doing something, but it's a natural phenomena that is keep on going with the pace. The second slide, that is the right hand side, it shows you that what is in your mind. So let's take it how the digression works. They are the keen thoughts about video games. It can be about music. It can be about girls, movies, food, sleep, weekends, TV. And there is one more thing, that is the brain. It has been given a departed two partitions are there, bifurcations are there, but it's empty. So what is empty means? Means you do not have to think anything. You are simply there. Though you are available here, but your attention is not at all present over here. So these are the three different stages that are giving you a glimpse that how the person are dividing their own attention and the concentration into various activities, and actually how the brain works out. Okay, so hope you all got this particular slide and what it conveys to you. Any questions, any queries, any points that you want to add into it?
I just wanna add one point, like whatever task we are performing, we should do in a serial manner, because if we try to focus on any other work, then our energy will be deviated. And in that scenario, like our focus will decrease, our efficiency will decrease. It is same as some psychologists suggest you that not listen any kind of energetic or any high energetic songs while driving a car. Means if you drive a car and at the same time if you listen the some energetic songs, then definitely your energy will be deviated from driving to the song, and you will lose control on your brake and all the process and procedures that you are driving the car. You will lose some control, and might be it will result in some accident or some unfair activity. So I think that should not be there. You should focus on one work particularly at one time.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Abhishek.
you, Abhishek.
Okay. So it was a good point that you made it after here, that channelizing your energy will be a good, because it will not going to deviate and digress your attention as well as your energy. So while you are performing, you need not to be exhausted. You need some kind of energy to perform in a particular task. Well, thank you, Abhishek. Anybody else?
Can I add on something, please?
Yeah, sure, Gaurav.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. These five things like touch, taste, vision, smell, and hearing, all this also indicates the chemicals which are in our brain, like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Like uh, dopamine depends upon the happiness and emotions of our brain. At the same time, and serotonin indicates the uh, serenity and peaceful and calmness in our mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all.
right, Gaurav.
Right.
Correct. So when we about the chemical reactions into our own biological body, and when we are studying the anatomy of a body, these do play a vital role while having a kind of a perception and just categorizing those particular emotions and the feelings and your concentration, even how you diverge into something. These performs a very crucial task over there. So thanks for adding that, Gaurav, in that particular sense also. Anyone else? Or we can move on to the next slide.
Yeah, may I?
Yeah, sure, interpret.
Mindfulness is the topic, and multitasking is the subhead of this. I hope so. Then I would like to say that multitasking is a better thing to perform better in our life and in our profession work. But multitasking should be a stipulated manner, so that we can do as per their priority, right? Then it means ki we have to make some notes. So it will enhance our caliber to consume more work, consume more work, and we can spend less time during the multitasking. Means task should one at one time, but multitasking means it should remain in our mind that we need to do the next work this thing. And if we are doing multitasking at the same time, it will reduce the productivity, right? And it will not give the suitable suggestion and suitable advice to anyone who is in front of you, yeah, who, but the result will required from the person who is giving the answer of that same questions. These things are there, and multitasking is required, but multitasking is also should have a subhead that we need to make the sequence of the priority work according to priority. Multitasking is good, but if a person doing the same time multitasking, so it will confuse his mind and he will not be able to concentrate anywhere. I hope. Thank you. I hope
Okay.
I have already completed. Thank you.
Okay. Interpret. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thought here over the topic. Okay. So is there someone else? Same question. What are you observing from the picture? Is there anyone, or should I move in next slide? Okay, Brahma. Yeah. So guys, now it's time to practice 1 minute meditation. I hope, guys, it's my kindly request. Please, all guys do that. It's very beneficial for us. When we do meditation, we feel our nature. We feel our breath. So guys, please, only 1 minute. You can start your meditation whenever you sit, wherever you sit right now, and where are you? I don't know right now. Okay, you can go with that. Simply do meditation only for 1 minute. Please set your phone beside you and start doing. Please. Okay. Please, guys, carry on. Sorry. Please come back and take one biggest smile on your face. Please. Come back, guys. You all have done.
Hello, can I speak here? You know.
Suraj, please wait. Mute
Okay,
yourself.
okay, okay.
Okay. Guys, have you done?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Suraj,
So
please mute
what was
yourself.
going? Okay.
Suraj, please mute yourself. Okay. So is there anyone who already did it, this kind of thing, means meditation? So please
Yes,
share me
I
your
have.
experience. Yeah, please share me your experience right now.
See,
What is your feeling right now?
yeah, I've done this earlier too many times, and what I noticed the benefits of meditation is that firstly, it increases your concentration. It also helps you reduce your stress. It helps you control your anxiety level. I think one more thing that it helps is it help. There are some forms of meditation which helps us know about ourselves in a better. I think there are some meditation as well which helps us, which also promotes some kind of emotional health, and actually helps us stay positive in our lives. It also helps us, think positively about every aspect of your life. So I think these are some of the benefits which I have gotten, which I have experienced myself while I was meditating.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Yuvraj. Okay. Anyone
Very
else
nice.
who did it?
Yeah, yeah.
Who did
It's
it?
me,
Yeah.
And
Suraj.
please share your point right now
It's
if you did it.
it's yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's me.
Okay. Have you done meditation 1 minute?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, please share your
yeah,
experience. What was
yeah,
your
brother.
feeling?
You know, I yeah every day 20 minutes earlier time. Early in the morning I did it. But I would like to tell you one thing. I know everyone will tell about meditation's advantage, but I have a one disadvantage in my life, and I just want to share with you. The disadvantage in the life that whenever you do meditation in every day, like 20 minutes, 22 minutes, angerness become vanished is the one of the most problem in my life that I am facing because you know vanished. Okay, and these problems sometimes is very 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 dangerous for me because if someone is beating me and then after I was laughing, oh my god, what are you doing, man, don't beat me, just laugh. And this kind of problem is, I think. But yeah, absolutely, angerness, if
This is
vanish,
not a
then
problem.
it's yeah, it's a really very good thing. But you will lost after some time if you doing
Suraj,
meditation.
want to say something? Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, are you listening me? Hello.
yeah, yeah.
Guys, I'm recording this session right now. Please don't me teasing here. And if I mute you, so please don't think too much about it and don't get serious about it. So please, so your etiquette.
I didn't understand. Am I right or wrong?
Suraj, like let me inform you that it doesn't completely vanish the angerness. Actually, it reduces the anger issue. Like if you know and if you search on
I
the
agree.
Google what are the merits of meditation, then you will come across like how it is benefiting the humankind. It is not something that is vanishing or destroying your angerness. It is something that is reducing because sometimes you are losing the control on your mind and you become very angry, very furious at some situation, isn't it? So it will reduce that kind of activities.
Okay, please mute yourself, guys. I was
I
asking, please share your experience right now if you done meditation
I
right now. So
yeah, I
please share
have
your
done,
experience.
and
Okay.
I can explain what is meditation.
not what is the
What is the
meditation. Please
meditation?
share your
Please share your
experience.
experience. Yes, I have done
If
it
you
and
have
I will
done
share my
right now,
experience.
yeah, please. How is your feeling?
I have done I have done meditation for completely 5 days for 30 minutes in the morning, and I found myself absolutely clear. Like I am 100% clear what I have to do and how I have to do. If there is any problem, then I was approaching it with a positive mindset. I was and first and second of all, the outside things, outside or external things was affecting me very less. Like today, the internet is working slow. I have not working out properly. So the external things were affecting me less, and my internal self was getting stronger. That's what I have observed. I was more enjoying
Okay,
things that you can say.
okay. Thank you so much, Ankit. Is there someone else
Yeah.
who have done meditation right now?
Yeah,
And please share your experience. Yeah. Okay, guys. One more time. Please go with meditation right now. 1 minute. 1 minute more. Please do start this kind of thing. Sit calm. Straight your back. Then start your meditation. Concentrate on your breath. Please. 1 minute only. Go with that, and after that, share your experience. How is your feeling? Okay. Yeah. Guys, please come back. And now you may share your feeling. People, please share your feeling. How's your feeling right now? Gaurav, Yuvraj,
yes, yes, I want to share. I didn't done right now, but before that I have tried, and I frequently do meditation with Zen mode music sound, and I visualize the picture in front of me like landscape and any beach and water is flowing. So it gives a complete calmness and immense pleasure to reduce the anxiety and stress level. That is what I feel. And meditation is not all about like you close your eyes and uh, breathing. Meditation is also about being in the present moment and whatever you are doing with complete mindfulness. That is what I feel.
Okay. Thank you so much, bro. Okay, anyone else?
Hi Sham.
Yes, Harish. Yeah.
Is it initial to talk about the right now meditation? Because I do a lot and it's totally hectic to execute it right now. But if it is okay to speak about my previous meditation, then I can go
Yeah, of course.
because I has
Of course. Yeah,
experience
you
for
can.
it. Okay. So I remember the day I'm just talking about the paradise and the benefit of it. Okay. So I remember the day when I was totally hectic, and it was totally ironic. My examination on a corner, and my mind was totally fucked up. So I went to the psychiatrist. Even before going there, I met to my brother. He's a doctor by his profession, and I told him that what are the acknowledgement I getting from the consequences. It's totally ironic. I couldn't control to my mind to acknowledgement all this stuff. So he recommended me to do meditation. What are the versatile meditation you have to do? Wake up early in the morning and do this, that, blah blah blah, and I do accordingly. And there is an cosmetic changes, and I could do concentration each and everything. Like before that I had a very hypertension and lot of things was executed, but doing that stuff I can control to the all stuff. Even we're talking about the study, and I can give the proper time. And for the meditation, that's improve my communication and identifies underlying issues. Meditation a lot personalizes solutions, lot of activities, lot of things. So I really appreciate uh, the way he told me, and I do accordingly. So I have a good experience for it. So I recommend each and every single person here, you have to do meditations that can be boost your personality too, and it can be have a good grasp on your communications too. You can even I can see a lot of people, they have more than 30 or 25 maybe ever, so their mental health is not that much good accordingly about his age. So if the very key and very granted way to do acknowledgement these things, you have to do meditate yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Harish. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone?
In my opinion, meditation is useful because it's bring increase the focus and bring effectiveness on work. It's help in my studies. I always doing my study. I always try to do meditation. So it's always increase the focus and bringing effectiveness on the work.
Okay. Thank you so much, Saloni. Anyone else?
Yes.
Anyone, guys, please put your point. If you have done meditation and you are doing meditation nowadays, so please go with that.
Um, should I share my experience with it?
Oh, okay, yeah. Please get.
Yeah, so like I practice meditation kind of every day because I am a insomniac and I don't like to take sleeping pills. So I usually sleep after meditating. So it helps me a lot to relax. Mostly I meditate in a like shower. That helps. Because I'm really scared of most of it. And doesn't feel fresh in the morning. I mean, that much, but at least I can sleep without medicines. So that works for me.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Sama, please go with next slide.
You.
Hello.
Okay, please someone. Yeah, sweetie.
Yes. Nowadays, meditation is too much important because everyone in stress. Meditation feels us relaxed. Meditation can give you a sense of peace and balance that can benefit both your emotional well-being and your overall health. You can also use it to relax, focus, and improve your mood. Meditation is also helpful in managing stress.
Okay, thank you so much, sweetie. Okay,
That's
Dhruv, are
all.
you there? Maybe I am facing network.
Yes, Sam.
Okay, okay, yeah, please go with that. Okay,
Okay. So there is a next slide that is going to tell you about the neurons. So what actually the neurons are and how they works out. There are billions of neurons in our brains. You all might be aware about it. But what are neurons actually? Just cells. The brain has no knowledge until connections are made between neurons. All that we know, all that we are, comes from the way our neurons are connected. It is the one quote by Tim Berners-Lee, and he is telling that we are completely unaware about the things, but it is actually the connection of the neurons that are interwoven and interlinked with each other to create a kind of a sensitivity and a particular thought process. So how the neurons work out, they are basically the cells, but when they have that connection with each other, they form that particular thing into it. So it is very simple that this slide is only telling you about the neurons and how they are connected and what they brings to you. So anybody else, if they want to share anything about the neurons or any additional knowledge, what are their functions, how they work down. Okay, so Sama, yeah, just next slide.
So should I start with the anatomy book definition or something else?
Yeah, you may add it, Kat.
Uh, it would be like a speech going on a biology lecture. Is that okay
No,
with everyone? I don't think everybody
just
wants to listen to
precisely
that.
you tell actually the connected, yeah, the connected, how actually the functionality of the neurons.
Okay, so I'll try to explain in brief. So a nerve cell, the unit of the nerves are called the neurons, and they have a cell body, and the extended portion of that is called the axon, and at the end it has got the terminal buttons. It's like a knob-shaped structures present at the end, and when the two neurons are connected, the synapse and the cell body, which have dendrites, they form a connection. Sometimes they make a connection with the dendrites of the other neurons, or with a muscle cell. And when the impulse is passing from the neuron, when it passes through the whole length of it, then that impulse is an electric impulse that's passing through. And when it reaches a synapse, but there is a gap between both of the like connection, so that is called the synaptic cleft. And through that synapse, the neurotransmitters are released from the like terminal buttons, which has got the like some vesicles are present, which has got neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters are released, and that does the chemical transmission of the impulses from to the other portion, like to the motor neuron or to the other neuron that's connected to the. So that's basically it.
Well, thanks, Kat, for this additional information regarding the neurons. Okay, let's have a glimpse of the next slide,
Almost wake
which
up.
is a questionnaire. Yeah, which is a questionnaire. So you guys have to come up with the answers. What actually you find it out. So the first question is, what is a stress? What you find it, your definition as a stress. What's your definition as a stress? Or how you will going to define a stress?
Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension that
Well,
make you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous.
okay. Thank you, Shraddha. Anyone else?
Hi, Dhruv.
Yeah. Hello.
I really want to. I want to give my first line of the like how I think about the stress, a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. That's called stress for me. Like a lot of stress, pressure, tension, nervous tension. It's come from the resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances.
Well, thank you, Harris, for the additional definition and explaining it to its fullest. Anyone else?
Yes, I want to say something about stress. Can I speak?
Yeah, sure, Birla.
Okay, thank you. I think state means which are creating some problems in your mind, and you are not able to do something. Means in normal life you are doing something work, you are working anything, you are enjoying your life. But when you some uh, some uh, some points are running in your mind, that time you are not able to do your normal thing. Means you get points and you are thinking about it. That's why you are not able to do normal thing. Date in stress means anything, a point or anything which are running in your mind. It is the stress, and it is affecting your life, and it is creating your some problems, such as when you are thinking about anything, you are not able to listen anyone. You are not able to listening, and you are not able to understanding because your mind is running anywhere else. Date is straight. It's my opinion. I don't know about it, but I think it is okay. It is. Thank you.
Yeah, Birla, thanks for adding into it. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is interlinked with the first
Hey,
one. That is
Dhruv,
asking you, how
I
does
wanted
it
to say
affect the
something about.
performance? Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes,
Okay,
please.
so I'll tell you the bookish definition, which is the widespread or generalized response of the body to various environmental, physical, mental, social situations. Like a body tries to maintain a balance with, like, with the whole thing, like the temperature, pressure, every fucking thing. It has to maintain a balance. So that balance is called the homeostasis. And if anything disrupts that balance, state of balance, the homeostasis, that is called the stress. So
Yeah,
that's the
thanks,
bookish
Kat,
definition of the word.
for
Thank you.
yeah telling us the terminology, exact terminology. So whenever we keen to understand it in detail, we may can Google it out. Thanks for adding into it. Yeah. So let's move on to the next
Yeah.
question that is interlinked with the first one. How does it affect performance and the productivity? So what's your answer and a take on this particular question? How stress will going to affect the performance or productivity?
Yeah.
Yes, doctor. Anyone to answer this?
I think you talk about second question, and I think it is relating.
Yes,
It
yes.
is related to stress, and if you are talking about stress, means
it is creating some problems in your life and you are not able to do anything because you are thinking about your problems, you are thinking about your mind, and sometimes also it is instead is creating some diseases such as we are not able to sleep. Sometimes we are not able to sleep. This is also affecting our performance and productivity. And also, I'll give examples such as when you are working any place such like you are working in a TCS company. In company are giving you work, but you are not able to do work. You are not able to complete work on time. That's why you will get stress, and then it also creating you some problems in your performance. Such like you are not if you are not you will you will not able to do better in your future because you have some problems problems in present that is such as stress is affecting your life. I think it's so. Thank
I would like to
Okay.
that.
put my perspective
Well,
on it. Oh, sorry.
yeah, please,
I would
ma'am.
like to put my perspective on it. Okay, what I feel, if you when it affects, for example, if there is one thought, you're thinking about it continuously, it kinds, and when you're thinking about something negatively, you think about worst thing. You don't think what, like, you can't think what is a positive aspect of that particular scenario. And when you think of negativity, you don't know what is right or what is wrong. You can't define it at the time. You just get confused. Your mind get a lot of thoughts about negativity, and it affects on your mind along with your body. And sometimes you just react in that way. Your environment gets affected, so it is gonna affect your, like, surroundings along with you. So it is gonna make you feel more guilty about it. Yeah, I did it, and I did to others as well. So it is gonna affect you along with people, and then you will feel more guilty, and then it gets more affected to your own mind multiple times. That was I feel about it.
Well, thank you, Bot, for your answer. Anyone else?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Okay,
would
may
like
I?
to speak. Okay, sir.
Yeah, sure, Sam. Then after that, Josh.
Okay, Josh, if you wanna, so you can go with that. Then I'll.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
okay,
So
so like stress, what like how it affect, how does it affect to our performance? Yeah, like when you are in stress, when you are in feel like you are
Josh, second
something in
question.
your, yeah. So when you are feel like stress, any kind of you are taking concern also like in your mind, and you are doing any work, that is not quality time. You are just you're just spending your time with your work. You are not fully aware of that. What are you doing? What are you thinking about that? What are you reading now? No, that's kind of productivity it affect by this way, and performance also. After that, if you are can see finish a two pages two pages paragraph, and after that you find the and say what you learn from this paragraph, then after that you will find that I think I just remind 30-20%, I just understand this paragraph. That is a performance are affected by stress because you are not aware, you are not at conceiving present in your mind. You are just in physical state in this present, but your mind is going on in other things, like you are feel any, I can say, any stress, any you are feel bad for anything happened with you in your past. So these kind of things by this way, so stress affected by our performance and productivity also. That is quality time, you can say, in productivity. Yeah, that's from on my side. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Sam?
Okay, thank you so much, Phil. Okay, so how does
I
the
have
affect
something to
performance and
add again.
productivity?
Should I?
Cats?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
just
please.
hold for a second. Let Sam finish, then you can. Okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, Sam, please continue.
so stress is all about when we get something depression and when we get too much work hard in our mind and work in our day, in our life. then we feel stress. It could be financial, it could be physical, it could be any stress, emotional also. Someone hurting you, then you feel stress. Someone like uh lost your money, maybe you will lose your money, and you will get some risks from business and any kind of things. So you may get stress also. And how does it affect on performance? Obvious, we already know that when we get tension, when we get stress, so it shows, it uh, gives glimpse of on our productivity and our performance too. For an example, if you feel exhausted, then also you will feel stress. Maybe you will lose your performance also. So in that behalf of, if I talk about myself, so somehow my exams are going on. That is why my productivity, my performance was my performance are very less in this group. So in this behalf of, yeah, when I completed my exam in upcoming days, then I will again come with my productivity knowledge, my productivity skills, my performance will too much high then. So this kind of things also included in it. So you can relate with that. This example, if you get stressed, so somehow, somewhere you will lose your productivity skills, creativity skills, and yourself also. So don't go in this stress. Control your mind, control your sense. Then you will able to control your all things. Okay, yeah, that's all.
Yeah, Amarshya, it's your turn now.
Okay. So, like I already said that the kind of effects it has on the body is mentally exhausted and everything like that. So there's more to it than stress, than stress of body to have. It causes psychosomatic diseases, like I mean, just prevents the body to from healing faster. Like if you are a patient of BP or like another stuff like that, then it just makes it worse for you when you take a lot of stress more than your body can handle. Can cause you to have like ulcers in your stomach, like mouth ulcers, other places you might have issues with that. You might have other problems as well, like obesity, back pain, and asthma also. It can cause like asthma type symptoms as well, like too much stress. So stress can affect a lot worse than people can imagine. Like not just the mind, it just doesn't affect the mind, it affects the whole body. Like if you take too much of stress, then it might occur than you are in real life. Most of the people that come to the hospital, they come with that they are stressed most of the time. So like more than medicine, they need the relaxation, like the cope with the stress they are having in daily life. So stress is pretty harmful, and it doesn't usually cause any disease, but it has a relation with it. It doesn't directly cause it, but very much affects the brain a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Kat, for that garnered, expertised advice and additional details. Well, let's move on to the next question. How mindfulness can help in it? Anyone?
Dhruv, please give those people chances who haven't speak here. Okay, go with that.
Okay, sure. Unfathomable, Akash, Anish, any of you who haven't yet spoken about it, and if they are interested to speak it.
What do we need to talk about? Like, what is stress?
Uh, no, Lakuna, we are on the last question. Like rest other, we have already discussed with the answers. Now you have to tell like how mindfulness will help it out. after facing or we are in a situation of stress and how we have already got affected with this stress.
Can you please brief about the mindfulness because I'm not able to get proper meaning of it.
It's a particular state of a mind where you are having a well sound mental being. It's not just the physical being. You have a well aligned thoughts and a thought process that are being processed wisely. In a sense, you are in a better, healthy mental state.
Yes,
All right.
can I speak if no one is? Okay, Akash, you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
Lakuna.
Akash, if you want, you can speak. I'll continue after you.
Yes, I want, but I can't speak English. This is my first time. My friend add me in this group, but I don't speak English very well.
Mm, I think he's not audible.
Yes, but the question is how mindfulness can help in it, and its its answer is very relatable with what is stress. When when we are not
Okay, he's gone, I think.
Okay,
Listen to
Lakuna,
me.
you may continue.
Yeah. Mindfulness really plays a very prominent role when it comes to releasing your stress because when we are stressful, we are not in a proper mental state. It might be due to n number of reasons, but mentally we are not sound at that point of time. It's like our body is not very much in proper coordination with the mind. So if we develop this attribute of mindfulness, then we might be aware of what is happening around us. So in order to just get away from this stress or just to release the stress, we need to understand first that what is the situation or what is the thing that is causing this stress. And this can help, if this can be really possible if we have this mindfulness, because we become aware of our mental state and what is happening. And once we know the reason, like if we have a problem in our life, once we know that what is the problem, we can work upon it, right? So if we know through mindfulness that what is the thing that's causing stress, then I think that with just giving time and with due course of time, we can really improve on it. And yes, it's very well said that we need to have a peace of mind for doing anything. And stress only increases the activity of our mind in a very imbalanced manner. But if we become mindful, like if we develop this attribute of mindfulness, then there's a proper harmony between our body and our actions and the mind. And this can really help us in releasing the stress and making it to zero. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Lakuna, for adding into it and giving it as a remedy to a stress. Okay, anyone else want to answer or like to answer? Vijay, Prashant, Akash, Flight, Fight, Arya, Kritin.
Hello. Hello.
Sam.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah. Okay, Kritin. Yeah, please, Kritin.
Yeah, yeah. I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, you are, but your voice is very slow.
Okay, let me
May
conclude this. Yeah, sure, Sam.
I? Okay, how mindfulness can help in it. So mindfulness is all about, like you already said it, say us point how we can control our mindfulness. So in it, like mindfulness also help us. We can control our organs, means our senses of the mind, and we are able to control our stress also. In behalf of people, how they are controlling their body sense, how they are control their thinking and overthinking sense also. So in this behalf of they are able to control their sense or think. So obvious they are able to control their mind also, because mind is all about for distracting in very few minutes, few seconds. Every second mind our get distracted uh, by people, by objects also. So in this behalf of our performance, productivity, and stress, we can go with several things which we have, means meditation and different kind of stuff also we can go with that. Then we are able to observe ourselves, we are able to control our things. So you can go with that and control your sense of things, your body, and yourself also. So you can do this kind of thing. So it is very helpful for you. Yeah, that's all.
Sam, thanks for summing up all those points. Can we move on to the next slide, Sama? Okay, so this is the next slide, and it's basically all about the tension. So anyone can just read it out and explain us if you want to. Josh,
Yeah,
Bhanu Prakash.
Bro Trap, are you there?
Yes, bro, but I'm doing my college work, so
Okay, okay, no problem.
I'm not able
Yeah,
to.
Dhruv.
Okay, well, so the slides reads about how the definition of stress goes on. A sense of emotional or a bodily tension is referred to as a stress. Any event or a thought that makes you feel upset, furious, or nervous can trigger it. So these are the adjectives which are being used and referred for stress, the condition of stress. Okay, what are those? That is upset, feel upset, furious, nervous, can trigger it. A challenge or demand causes your body to react with stress. Stress can be beneficial in small doses, such as when it keeps you safe or helps you fulfill a deadline. So, what are the positive aspects and what are the negative aspects? What actually are the conditional phase where you can easily deduce that actually I am in real sense of stress phase, or I am underwent through that particular thing. So what are those adjectives that tells you if you are feeling upset, if you are furious about something, if you are nervous? So you are under a kind of a stress phenomenon. The rest sometimes also posed out like it is beneficial for you. So what are those stages that are being beneficial for you in small doses, such as when it keeps you safe or helps you fulfill a deadline? Let's take with an example over here where, like for an example, as the Sam has already told you that he is facing these days his exams and they are round the corner. Now he is being stressed about those things because he has to write and take his exams. They're all, if he is meeting those deadlines with his studious things and well timetable and all that, doing well aspects to that particular to perform his exams well, I think that stress will going to benefit him. That's why it is being asked or told over here that stress is sometimes in a small doses. Why they use that particular term? Small doses means he is not dwindling and bewildered with always. Otherwise, it will tend to him with the adverse effects. That's why small doses of stress can benefits you. So anyone else, if they want to add something, some event, instance, or they want to add some meaning or the details to this particular slide. Okay. So can we move on the next slide, Swama?
Is some small dose of stress can indicates you to do work what you want.
Okay. Akash, could you just give us an example?
Not exactly. I would not use
Like
the word want, but like
like
need.
um Sam or someone else who say about his exam, then a stress if comes in his mind, then the stress indicates in his mind that he have to learn and about his exam.
Okay.
uh,
What else?
bus.
Okay. Cat, you were saying something.
Nothing. Let it be.
Okay. Okay. So, Sam, shall we move on to the next slide? Could you just read out and tell
Yeah,
us one
so
by one? We will ask the others. Yeah, please.
okay. So we have 5 signs of emotional stress. First is anxiety. Second is frustration. Third, anger, sadness, and fear. If I talk about first one, 40 million Americans suffer from anxiety. It is common for those under chronic stress of the develop anxiety means 40 million Americans suffer from anxiety means 40 million almost like 4 crore people almost. Okay. So in it like how we are going with that because nowadays I think our era, our technology, our something else where we can feel anxiety about it. I think everyone knows about it. Nowadays we have a lot of stress. And next thing, frustrations. Frustrations comes from stressful situations. Not all stress leads frustration, but chronic stress can. Frustration is all about like when you get something different kind of thing in your life means it can be not behalf of you. When you suppose something for behalf of you, but it will be not with you means it will be not happening with you. So you get frustration also about it. Sometimes I also do. And third, anger. Anger can be sign of the stress and lead to high bold pressures. It also has the potential to lead to relationship issues. Yeah, anger is all about when you get people or some object, any kind of things. Anger is very we can call anger is very curious thing in our life. I think it is very part of our life, common in our life. We feel anger whenever we do. Means frustration and anger is similar than this, but we can go with different kind of thing also. Means anger is different, little bit different, not too much. So how we can control our anger? So we have mindfulness because mindfulness is only one way where we can control our anger. And other sadness. Sadness is a clear sign of this emotional stress. Someone can be so stressed that all they feel is sadness. Sadness is clear sign of the emotional stress. We already know that when we feel sad, so we get some emotional stress. Then we feel uh, sadness. It can be any could be it could be anything. Maybe our family problem, our relationship problem, our financial problem. Any could it could be anything. We feel sadness and fear. Many people become fearful when stress is high. This can be life altering unless you stop to find balance again. Fear is getting some fear of the. If I talk about, we have a lot of fear in our life, but some people are there who already tackle their fear by their strongness and strength. For an example, we have stage fear, speaking fear. Also, if I talk about, there are many people who has speaking fear in front of people. So how they can reduce? They can start meditation. Meditation is only one way where you can go with that and you can feel yourself, then see yourself in upcoming days. You are able to do that, those kind of thing also which you are not doing right now. So that's all. Yeah. So Dhruv, over to you, man.
Yeah, thank you, Sam, for well explaining the 5 signs of the emotional stress and telling us how we can over that particular situation. So, Sama, can we move on to the next slide? Well, so this is the concludatory
Hey,
part.
Dhruv,
Yeah, Kat. Yes.
um, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Sorry.
Something like about frustration and our anger. The difference, what's the difference between frustration and anger? Can I speak on that?
Yes, Josh. Josh, you have to conclude the whole session. Today we talked about stress, its signs, and the
I
resemblance.
so I
Yes.
wish I could that. I wish I could that because I joined
Yes, you
in mid
can.
session.
Note wish. Josh, you can. Yes, just go on with your thoughts.
Yeah, I think our session was on our like our stress, our anxiety. These are our mental state, our emotional kind of these area, and we also find the what's the solution of this problem in our life, like how to solve that and how they affected out it affected by the indirectly way, indirectly way, and like mindfulness. We were talking about mindfulness, like the kind of when we are fully present in ourselves with the mind, not just physically. That means you are trying to, you can say, you are trying to calming your brain in, what are you looking at. Like sometimes we are busy in other things, like just we can say we are thinking other stress problem, like what happened in your day. So that mindfulness means you are just trying to pull your brain, like no, I will be controlled your by myself. That's kind of mindfulness, means you are trying to pull your brain by this. That I'm trying to say that. Okay. So yeah, if you talk about our like Sam can mention it there. What's there? Five things like fear. What comes in this? Like stress, fear. This I'm also trying to say that like frustration and anger. Like frustration means you are trying to drain your brain by the frustration. You are trying to react. You are from your small, like you're from the brain. You are reacting from any person, like you're trying to drain your brain through the anger. That is a frustration. And anger is you are just without any reason. You don't know, you don't need to reason in anger. You are just, you can say, you are just reaction. You are just react, and without any thinking logically what are you trying to say. Now these things are difference between, I was trying to say that. Yeah. So that's a great, that session was great. Like we are trying to finding our problems, like mental kind of mental illness, these kind of, because people are not taking this kind seriously, where they are just can say living without take this problem, and they are thinking like that is physically important, not just mentally. Yeah, but I have subject psychology. That's why I know about that. Lot of things comes in our mind, but we are not aware of that. That's why this is the, like, let's say, we are lagging in information, and we are lagging in information of our brain, can say related to brain. What's the brain like? What type of, like what, how brain our work, and what you can say, what things affected by the brain from you can say outside, from the outside. That's I'm trying to say. Yeah, that was session was great. And yeah, so that's my point on that topic. Like uh, yeah, so if you are talking about like I forgot it, it's something like sorry, I forgot it. Sorry for that. Yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah, thank you for listening also.
Thank you, Josh. And are you all guys for having your presence with us, listening that particular wonderful session of the mindfulness, and the initiator, that is Sam Verma, and the coordinator at the back of his hand, that is Tanjan Sama. So it's all about amalgamation of the attributed teamwork. So for that, I owe you guys, as a audience, as the initiator of your thoughts. You really shared well what you find it correct and good as per your own knowledge and the information. We request you can again join it on the next Sunday. Sam, how many more classes are there in this?
Seven,
Sam,
seven.
are you
Next
there?
Saturday. Yeah, seven
Okay,
next Saturday.
7 classes. Yeah, sure. So you can again join it, and we will take another one unit further with its initial details, learning and gaining the knowledge about how we can easily gain the mindfulness. and a particular state of well healthy mental sense in our own lives. Yeah, thank you guys. Sam, if you want to say anything, you can share with it, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, well, people, for giving you a wonderful time. And in that session, you grab a lot of knowledge and you've given us a lot of knowledge about this session. Okay, so people, you can go with mindfulness or meditation daily basis. Daily basis, try only for 1 and 2 minutes. You will feel after 3 or 4 months remarkable changes in your life. It's my guarantee, it's my word. So please start this kind of thing in your life. Control your mind and go with meditation. Yeah, thank you so much, Phil. Okay, so now we are going to end this session. Is there anyone who wanna give